her jawline bigger, other areas. I'd like to show you a video about patient assessment. And this is how I would assess a patient, and starting from the top down, talking about the forehead, the eyes, cheeks, jawline. And I want you also to understand that as you change one area of the face, and I'll mention this in the video, like we're going to expand her face, we're going to make her cheeks bigger, her jawline bigger, other areas. Her lips are going to look smaller. Her lips are going to shrink. So part of the assessment is for you to understand this, but also for you to explain to your patients, these are the things I think you should do, and these are the order in which you should do them based upon importance. For example, I think you should do the cheeks first, then we'll finish up with the nasolabial folds, the marionette lines. When we do that, your cheeks are going to look small. Can kind of get ahead of it and give them like a treatment plan so that they know what they're up against. They know all the things that they need to correct, and they know the order in which they should correct them. And if you follow this simple formula, I think you'll be very successful.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Russo, and this is our patient Erin, who so bravely volunteered to be our model today. Erin is 41, and she's had, was it one dose of neurotoxin in the past?
Yes.
Yeah, recently.
Yes.
And she's never had any fillers, which again is really unusual. She's 41, looks great, busy mom of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in today, and I sort of said to her, so what is it that you see on your face that you'd like to change? And what did you say?
I felt like my face was full.
Mm-hmm. Any place in particular?
The bottom half.
Mm-hmm. So if you look at her, you'll notice that she does have sort of a more rectangular face. And I noticed earlier that when she bit down, her masseter muscle was very big. So part of that contribution is from the masseter muscle. She has masseter hypertrophy bilaterally, and she does grind her teeth at night. But in order for us to make her look better, I think more youthful, we want to create a more triangular face for her. So she would be someone in whom we would want to work on her cheek, because if we build her cheek out and make her more triangular, her face is going to look thinner. She probably would be a good candidate for some neurotoxin here as well, but that's for a different course. Today we're going to be talking about fillers, so really we're focusing on that. If you notice, the upper half of her face looks pretty nice. She's had the neurotoxin treatment, so she doesn't have any extra lines. She has pretty equal thirds in terms of the proportion of her face, but she does look a little square and rectangular. So this will be our first goal, is to build this out and make her a little more triangular rather than rectangular. She's going to look straight up to the sky. And if you notice her lower eyelids, she does have a significant amount of volume loss here. These are her orbital rims. So this medial portion of her cheek is really quite empty. So we would love to see her look a little bit more. You can look straight ahead at me. Look up. The medial fullness is gone, so we would love to do that for her and then carry that fullness out laterally. When we do that, we probably will notice her temples are a little bit hollow, because she is a little flat to start with, and when we accentuate the area below that, she is going to have some temple hollows, but that's a little bit more of an advanced course. As we move down toward the mid-face, again, this middle portion has the biggest amount of hollow. She does have a little bit of deficiency in her nasolabial folds, and as most of you know, that's caused by the descent of the soft tissues in this direction. And by fixing the cheek, and most people, particularly someone her age, you'll get a complete improvement of that area. We are going to inject her anyway just to demonstrate the technique to you. But in someone like this who comes to me, I would really hardly ever treat that. I would really focus on the cheeks, and you'll see that will go away. The same can be true of the marionette lines and this little jowl. She just has a very, very, very beginnings of it. But again, if I correct her cheek, I predict all that will go away. We are, however, going to treat the marionette lines and the mental crease, because she has a little bit of deficiency there, and I want to show you how that's done on someone who's young and whose tissues will respond very nicely. You may also realize that as we treat the rest of her face and fill her up, her lips, which are already small, are going to become even smaller. So we will definitely want to add some volume to her lips to give her a little bit more red show. She has a reasonably good shape, so we can expect that with just the normal architecture that she has, by just highlighting those areas, we will create a beautiful looking lip. So that's our plan: cheeks, nasolabial folds, lips, marionette lines, and mental crease.
So hopefully from that segment, you've gotten an idea of how to assess a patient in a sort of a stepwise fashion. But as you get better at assessment, you'll start understanding proportions better. But at least start with the cheeks, the nasolabial folds, the marionette lines, the chin. Those are really the money places to go, because those are the things that everyone sees and needs. And as you get more sophisticated, you'll start talking about the forehead, the temples, the jawline, etc. But this is at least a beginning point for you to understand how to assess patients, but also to communicate with patients in terms of how they need and help them prioritize so they can plan ahead.